The hunt for the missing U.S. airman on board the F-15E jet is finally over with his daring rescue by the U.S. forces. President Trump said the Iranian military was looking hard in big numbers and was getting close. He claimed it was an amazing show of bravery and talent by all. But how U.S. trains its pilots to survive and evade capture after being shot down? Our next story gives you more details.
When a US jet gets hit in an enemy territory, the military switches to a meticulously planned, well-coordinated operation designed to retrieve the crew. A pilot's training known as Survival, Evasion, Resistance and Escape, or SERE, kicks in before he or she parachutes to the ground. The pilot in split seconds figures out where to land and which areas to avoid while coming down in a parachute. Aviators then figure out where they are, whether it is behind enemy lines, where they can hide, and how they can communicate, all in quick succession.
So as you're coming down in your parachute, you're doing a lot of scoping of the battle space. So chances are you may have been attacking a military installation. So you're trying to figure out where is the best chance for evasion. How can I avoid any military forces? How can I avoid being seen? Are there any areas of cover that I can maneuver to? Because when you're in the air, that's the best vantage point you're going to get.
The training is designed to turn academic theory into muscle memory through high-stress simulations. After ejecting, the crew's first priority is to assess injuries like spinal compression and utilize their seat-mounted survival kits, which contain rations, water purification, and medical supplies.
What are you going to do? It really depends. What did you see as you were coming down? You may have seen thousands of military forces closing in on your position from all sides, in which case, you might be getting ready for capture. Or you might have seen an area, maybe there was a river nearby. You thought you might be able to make it to the river and, hide along the riverbank. Or maybe you saw some roads that hey, I need to avoid those roads because there's going to be a lot of people around those roads.
The crew members, a pilot and a weapons systems officer of colonel rank, ejected from their aircraft after it was hit by an Iranian missile on Friday. The pilot was rescued by US forces shortly after ejecting. The WSO remained behind enemy lines for nearly 48 hours. Armed with only a handgun, he utilized a GPS tracker, distress beacon, and encrypted radio to maintain contact with the US forces. What unfolded next is a multi-layered rescue mission involving everything from special operation forces to airborne surveillance platforms, all working under hostile conditions to get to the crew. This was one of the most complex and time-sensitive operations, known as Combat Search and Rescue, or CSAR. The Air Force units behind CSAR missions include some of the most highly trained and specialized members of the US military. Bureau Report, WION World is One.
We earlier spoke to Mr. Edward P. Joseph from Washington, D.C. He's a lecturer at the Johns Hopkins University School of Advanced International Studies and foreign policy analyst, and this is what he told us.
We have to note the success, as your report indicated, of this very risky operation and the great relief in the United States and in all those countries who understand the importance of this mission of rescuing this downed airman, the weapons systems officer who was down and who evaded capture for 2 days. And as I mentioned in yesterday's interview, these airmen are trained in survival and evasion. And of course, what to do if in unfortunate case that they are captured. And if he had been captured, this would have been a very serious matter and potentially a turning point in the war. In terms of what happens next, first of all, the U.S., the Air Force, its pilots are now, of course, aware they are exposed to Iranian capacity, their missions, knowing that there is a chance of being hit. At the same time, Eric, let's put it all into context. The U.S. has flown and this is just the U.S., not the Israelis. The U.S. has flown approximately 15,000 sorties. So if you look at 15,000 sorties and see that one F-15 aircraft was hit and brought to the ground, then you see that still the U.S. Retains air dominance, not just superiority, but air dominance over Iran. I don't know that this increases the chances of some ground operation that the United States would conduct. The U.S. is bringing forces into the region, has the Marine Expeditionary Force there, and I think that the U.S. is looking at all of its options, which include potentially some ground operations. Please.